Hi friends, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra here at C2 Tactical in Scottsdale inside one of the bays today. Thank you to them for allowing us to do some of this stuff. Had some of the virtual training academy barriers out this time, and so I thought I would talk a little bit today about why we say back up off of your cover a little bit and show you that from some interesting video angles. New Bold Targets is now Throom. I use Throom targets on the range for all the benefits of steel with none of the drawbacks. They're made in the USA too. Pick up a set to make your shooting more fun and effective. As a private citizen, are you going to use something like this? You might. And the reason that you might in a non-law enforcement context, maybe you're involved in an armed robbery, maybe you're at a grocery store and you know there's or a convenience store, and you know there's an armed robbery going, you decide to get your gun out, you're trying to get the heck out of there, but you're coming around corners and trying to find the exit or something like that. And if it shows up, do you want to have a full presentation to that bad guy, or do you want to be able to get the jump on him? You could see something like that. Active killer events, which we have seen as well. Now, of course, in an active killer event, somebody's actively killing people, bang, 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 man, you run to the sound of the gunshots and take care of that problem. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about getting a safe look at what's going on. We're also not talking about playing peekaboo here, right? So I've seen some videos of this tactical, like a few tactical goofballs who do this thing and then go. Like, that's not at all what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a couple of reasons to stay a little bit back from your cover that makes sense from a physics and math perspective. One part of it that's hard for me to show you on camera is, of course, this is just PVC pipe with some, vinyl over it or whatever. But if this has a little bit of depth to it, right, and a bullet skips off of that, the bullet is always going to skip at less of an angle that it came in at. That's the case for concrete floors like this, hard flooring of any kind, that whatever angle, so if it goes in down at an angle like this, it will come back up at a much shallower angle. And that same thing holds true here for walls. Same thing holds true for the hood of your car. Again, if you're using a car for cover for whatever reason, I get it, mostly that would be law enforcement, but if you're not in law enforcement and that happens to you, that's going to be the case. So the closer I am to my cover, the less time this bullet has to get out of my path. If I step back a little bit, what happens here is it comes in and very quickly gets away from me in just a couple feet, so it increases my odds of survivability. Now, of course, most walls that we were talking about, interior walls and those kinds of things, are made out of, sheetrock, and a bullet's going to probably dig into that. But exterior walls, masonry, those kinds of things could definitely be an issue. The other part is visibility. Of course, if I see somebody, I want to take the first shot that I get, and I'd like to get him before he gets me and like to see more of him than he sees of me. So I'm going to show you here what I've done is I have put a camera here, and I've put it basically at kind of the eye level, not level. I mean, I can't put it up here and shoot this. I just can't, guys. And so what I'm going to do instead is I am actually going to bring the camera up here. I've set it down low, but I'm going to bring it up right here to center mass, and then I'm going to shoot the head, just so you get an idea of what is the difference in terms of how much I can see if I'm close to the cover versus if I back up off the cover a little bit. Three things we're going to see here. First one, if I am around my cover this way, I see people do this all the time. They put their arm, use that cover as a barrier or something to kind of lean on, which can have its application as well. But if I do that and I come around here, then that is how much of me you get to see as we go to work on that. Now, if I don't do that, if I stay here to this place of cover and I just come around it here, you notice here what I'm doing is I am sticking my dominant side left foot forward to give me a little bit better angles here. That's pretty decent technique. Then I come out and around here, see it? Okay, great. That's how much of me you got to see from the camera angle. Let's say I get to back off a few feet here. I am approximately 5 or 6 feet back from this cover. You may not get to do that. The hallway may prevent it or whatever external circumstances. But if I can back away a little bit, this is kind of what it gives me. I can see, and you can tell different amounts of me are there. Now, that's not that I'm invisible, but that there are different amounts of me visible and less likelihood of me being seen by my attacker. I think you can work on this in your dry fire if you want to, utilizing your dry fire dojo and just maybe putting something in the way or utilizing corners. I'm not telling you to do dry fire in an unsafe manner. Absolutely not. Maybe something like your Laser Academy, Blackbeard, those kinds of things would be very helpful. A barrel block, stuff like that. A laser cartridge so that you can see and it can't be loaded. Those kinds of things I think can be very helpful for this kinds of training. Difficult for most people to do this on their live fire range, but you can practice it on your dry fire range. So I think that there's a couple of good reasons to do that. Of course, we're not talking about an active killer right now. We're not talking about somebody actively killing your family member in your house. If I had somebody in this room, for instance, with my loved ones, and I hear my loved ones screaming and dying, I'm not sitting out here pieing corners, figuring out what's going on. I'm running to the problem and dealing with it. That's the only choice I have in that particular case because my loved ones are dying. In the case that we have an armed robbery, we have a threat in the vicinity, we are looking for, oh, okay, what do I see here? See that, I'm good. See that, I'm good. See that, I'm good. There he is, bang. Okay, yeah, you might call that slicing the pie or something like that. But in even a private citizen context, particularly armed robberies, active killings, we saw one not too long ago where some bad guys were on the other side of gas pumps. And so there was some of that idea of where's my cover and let me back off of it a little bit so that I get a good shot on him. That might be a time when you do that, and you don't want the first time to think about that to be when somebody's shooting bullets at you, okay? So go try this in your dry fire. I hope it helps you.